Daniel, 2016 FIBO, a big booth behind you, big company, what you're representing. What is the perspective, what is going on at the moment in your company?
I think it's, I would probably say this every year because it's exciting every year, and every year I get more excited. But I think a lot of change in the industry at the moment, and that's being driven by so many different things. A lot of changes in terms of the shape of the market. I think we're seeing at one end of the spectrum a lot more sort of going back to basics in terms of group exercise, functional training, free weight training, obviously CrossFit. This is actually dominating both the big players and sort of small players that are coming to the market. Some coming to the market just with a unique offering in the shape of a boutique. And then I think at the other end of the spectrum we're seeing technology. And technology is just hard for us to keep pace with. I think even we look back 3 or 4 years and the effect that the technology has had on our day-to-day lives, and now the effect that's having on the business as well. So it's a fast-moving target. We're trying to adapt, anticipate, and move as quick as we can, and understand how we can also support our customers how to deal with this type of change.
The market is growing quite fast, but I think it's more growing in the horizontal way. So it's getting wider and wider. More and more parts of the world get joined to the fitness market. It's the medical way, or the old man's way, or the kids, or whatever, school, corporate health. How are you developing to reach all these target groups?
Yeah, I think it is, as you say. I think actually, if we look at the biggest opportunity, it's in the active aging. With an aging population, Asia especially, but also the Western world. So we have to ensure that our products can adapt, that they're non-intimidating, that it's the older population can come in and use the same products that people that exercise on a regular basis can, but maybe we make some adaptations to those products. Also, I think in terms of how we communicate, there's a lot more research, conclusive research that is proving that exercise helps to prevent cancer, diabetes, and a number of other diseases. And this is it's fantastic for the industry. So of course, this has made the medical world sit up and understand, and now hopefully we'll start to see exercise being prescribed more often. But what's important for us is how we can communicate in a clinical way, so they really understand the true benefits of the benefits that can be gained from the vast product portfolios that we already have and that we're now focused on developing.
With this development of the market, more and more different parts are increasing. What role does the fitness professional play in this market? Because he's a specialist. Now we have physios, now we have clinics, now we have whatever handling fitness. What is the role of the fitness professional of tomorrow, in your opinion, of your company?
I think there's been some great things that have been done. If we look at e-reps and a lot of the focus now with Europe Active and the other bodies, especially in the European market and North America as well. And the standards of the fitness instructor today compared to maybe only 5 years ago, certainly 10 years ago, is worlds apart. But I think still we focus more on the exercise prescription, and maybe there needs to be a bit more focus on the human delivery of how we communicate, and especially as I go back to the active aging and how do we communicate, with an instructor that looks very fit, that's in their late teens or early 20s, and then there's this person that's never exercised before, maybe is not in great shape. It can be quite intimidating for them. So I think there needs to be a sort of a social element to this, to how they can communicate in the correct way. I think we can also learn a lot from other industries of how we can communicate, hospitality especially, how we can communicate far better.
The market and your company is following the market, or is a big part of the market, is also growing, of course, in a geological way. So you are opening more and more locations. Where are you now at the moment?
Yeah, very interesting question. Actually, if I look just in the last 18 months, we have opened an office in Canada, in the UAE. Sorry, I'm not moving in any specific direction around the world, but Mexico, just the last few weeks in Denmark. Then I go to Asia, in the Philippines, in Vietnam. I think it's important for us to give consistency to our customers, and we have a lot of global customers, to give consistency to them. There's no better way for us to control this than through a representation in a direct way. Having said that, we also have some very long-term loyal partners that we're working with in a number of countries. So, we have truly global coverage, but we're trying to strengthen our infrastructure as much as we can, and we'll continue to expand.
Do you see a lot of differences in the markets, between the different continents or countries, or is it nearly the same? How can you allocate, these different markets? Or is there a difference?
Absolutely. I mean, culturally, there's huge differences. Obviously, countries in the Middle East versus countries in Asia versus countries in Europe, established markets and developing markets. And we need to adapt. And of course, our industry is so diverse. We're not just dealing with health and fitness clubs. We've already talked about active aging and medical. We're talking about education. We're talking about military. We're talking about professional sports. So it's a wide spectrum. And of course, there's bigger opportunities in some countries than there are in others. This also can sometimes be a challenge, because we need to ensure that we have the team that has that intellectual understanding of how to communicate at these different levels in these different markets as well.
You're also developing on the market a connection between professional part of fitness and the home part. You have, of course, brands in the home fitness section. As I know, is you have an app connecting all these things. What is the future there?
Again, technology is going to play an important part as we move forward. I think, first of all, the importance for us on the retail market is stronger today than it ever has been. I think when we look at retail in other industries, electrical or clothing, a lot more people are shopping online. There's a massive swing towards online shopping versus the high street. But I think health and fitness is still very personal. When someone's making the decision to buy a piece of fitness equipment, whether it's a small piece of equipment or it's an investment in a treadmill for their home, they want to have a lot more detailed advice, and probably advice that you can't gain on the internet. They may do their research on the internet, but they then want to go out and they want to speak to a person. They want to physically see the products and be given the advice what products to take. That's one point. I think the other point, in terms of professional sport is really important for us to raise the brand awareness. People associate high quality products with their top sports teams and athletes and so on, using and training on those products. So it's very important for us as well to have key ambassadors in all of the countries that we represent our brand in, that also are ambassadors because they use and train and benefit from using Matrix.
So you don't think there's a competition between the private fitness and home fitness and the professional fitness of gyms, for example?
I don't think so. I think we're all a lot busier in our day-to-day lives, and it's about convenience. And you can't always say that it's convenient to go to the health club. You can't always be that motivated to exercise at home. So I think the combination of both is really important. I think it's like a bug, really. When someone hasn't exercised before, they maybe join a health club or buy a piece of fitness equipment, and after time they gain the benefits. They start to feel a lot better in themselves, so they want that to evolve and go to the next stage. So I think if they buy a piece of equipment for the home, then maybe they can also go to the health club and they can use a lot more equipment. Of course, unless you have a huge space at home, you can't have the same equipment as the health club. So I think the combination of the two, and then especially when we talk about technology and how we can link all of this together, so the instructor can communicate whether they're exercising on the gym floor or actually in their home or even going out to exercise for a run. This is important.
So, I think it's a big development everywhere, focusing at least on the Matrix brand for the professional fitness. Can you tell us some words about the future? Where is your direction? Where you're going to? What is your big aim?
I think whilst we will continually invest in developing products, obviously technology is very important, and looking at the trends, I think there's a lot of common ground still, and in terms of products that people enjoy using, and we will just continue to develop those products and evolve those products. Again, technology will help the experience, but I think it's also important for us to just help our customers and support our customers as best we can. Just help them, whether it's helping with market research, market data, whether it's helping them with education. Still, unfortunately, in this industry is a high turnover of staff, so the staff need continuous education, not just on how to use the equipment, but other elements, but also customer service. We need to ensure that our products are supported, so their customer gets the best experience when they go into that health club.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. I keep my fingers crossed for you, because if you help the market, then the market will be thankful to you. Thank you very much.